Good evening, friends, and welcome to Sleepy Time Tales, a podcast intended to help you sleep. Do you find yourself lying awake at night, mind spinning and emotions in turmoil with the anxieties of 21st century life? Do you wake up in the middle of the night, find yourself not able to doze back off at 3 a.m.? I'm here to help. My name is Dave, and I'm your narrator here to talk you into a restful night. I'm someone who has struggled to sleep ever since I was a baby. I could tell you stories about how much I used to make my parents suffer, and over time, as we get to know each other, I very well might. I discovered far too late in life that droning male voices have a tendency to put me into a deep sleep. I learned this when I was listening to video game podcasts and Welcome to Night Vale at bedtime, or even during the day when I was at home because I was doing shift work. Eventually I found out that sleep podcasts are a thing. I tried one out and it worked very well for me, but when I recommended it to other friends, they didn't like the guy's voice. So I wondered if I could make an alternative, and here it is. This is the first introductory episode, so this intro you're listening to now as a complete but short episode will be repeated with some changes at the beginning of every podcast, so that I will be able to explain the concept to new listeners whenever they decide to join us. Once you've listened to a few episodes, you may want to skip it, and I'll provide the timestamps, but in my thinking, it's part of the process of getting you to slow down and get yourself to sleep. This intro will go on for a few minutes as I explain the idea behind the podcast and why I think that listening to me will help you. Then, after the intro, the story will begin. Before the story starts, maybe try to wind down, grab a glass of water, use the bathroom. Turn out the lights, prepare yourself for the experience of sleeping as we prepare to go on a journey together to a restful night's sleep. Maybe we're building a space for you, a mental nest for you to settle into. Future podcasts will be about an hour. Hopefully this gives you time to allow yourself to fall into the sleep that you're needing, that you're hoping I can help you with. Time to build that mental nest that I just mentioned. The idea is that you don't listen to me too closely, unless you find me that fascinating, but I'm going to try to prevent that happening. The story I will tell is going to be confusing and pointless, maybe a little boring, and hopefully it creates a state of mind of peaceful, maybe resignation is the word. Acceptance of the state of mind, a lack of resistance to the arms of sleep as they reach out to you. As I said, I hope you're asleep before our planned hour is up, but don't feel pressurized. It may not work on the first night. Maybe it'll take a few nights for you to get used to listening to my voice. Maybe my accent is strange to you. Maybe an hour just isn't long enough. I'm going to assume here that this podcast goes undiscovered for an extended period. After all, who's going to find this in the first week? If you've discovered this, I will probably have a bit of a backlog for you to listen to. Try to queue up a few episodes or just run through the backlog. What I do with sleep podcasts is I just let them stream all night. Lie down in the dark with the earbuds in and let it run. Sometimes when I wake up at 3 a.m., the stream is still running and I let the voices waft me back to sleep. Sometimes it may be disconnected and so I need to start again. Sometimes I wake up 30 minutes before my alarm goes. Usually I carry on listening and it knocks me right back out. Let me tell you, that 30 minutes is sometimes the most restful part of my night. Something about allowing yourself to relax completely right before the alarm just satisfies on a deep, deep level. So you have the basic idea. You relax and lie in the dark. While you do that, I tell you a tale. It might be a story I make up. It may be me talking about a movie or a TV show I find interesting, but not too interesting. I may get some weird news stories and waffle on for a while about how they make me feel. This is all new to me, so I don't want to decide yet what my rules are. If you, the listener, find some types of things work better than others, feel free to let me know. I'll provide you with contact details at the end of this episode and at the beginning of every one in future. So lie there in the dark, let my voice wash over you, listen to things you find interesting, but try not to listen too closely. If you're too engaged, that may prevent you from falling asleep. I'll try my hardest not to be too interesting, which a lot of people I know will tell you shouldn't be too hard for me. I do have the habit sometimes of going on and on and on about things I find interesting, but nobody else does. It's one of my great failings, and I have this that I'm trying to turn it into a benefit, especially for you, the listener. my nighttime friend who has elected to lie in the dark, listening to my voice. Thinking about it, that does sound a bit strange, doesn't it? It's a bit odd inviting me, a stranger from somewhere in the world, probably far away, to speak to you in your sleep, to speak you to sleep. But you will always be safe with me. I'm here to help you relax, to improve your life in a small way. Or maybe not so small. People don't sleep very well these days, and it makes their lives harder. So I'm here to do my small part to help you in a big way. To help you face tomorrow and the day after, well rested and better able to cope and process. I'm not going to tell you horror stories or ghost stories unless maybe they're funny. You know, the rare humorous haunting. I'm not going to focus on any of the bad parts of modern life that keep us awake. I mean, they're already keeping you awake. You don't need me to carry on with that. I will only share stories that relax or make your life better, even in small ways. I believe very strongly in the benefits of kindness. I want to be kind to you. I want to share kindness with you. I want you to be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up or rebuke yourself over not sleeping. Don't get tense if you just can't get yourself over the edge of sleep, even with me here in your ears trying to help. Forgive yourself. And if I don't seem to be helping, I ask that you forgive me, because that won't help you. Take a breath, forgive the fact you can't sleep, and let my voice wash over you and under you. Take another breath. Imagine the warm darkness rising up and inviting you to sleep and to a better life starting tomorrow. And if you can't let go, forgive yourself and try again tomorrow. If you've had a life of insomnia, sleep is something like an enemy. But it is not your enemy. It's a natural process that we have been pulled away from by the stress of modern life and supposed progress shining bright lights in our eyes at all hours. I'm here to work with you, to create a safe space, a cocoon, or a nest in which you can curl up and allow nature to take its course. So if you're still with me, thanks for staying. And if you're already asleep, we'll chat again soon. And of course, you aren't hearing me except maybe in a dream. Let your dreams be about the stories that I tell you. Thanks for listening so far, folks. I'm just going to give you a few little details of where you can find this around the internet, and I will let you go, and we will see you next time for our full episode. So while we're a new podcast on the block, we have been laying the ground for a while, so you can find us almost everywhere. Our website is sleepytimetales.net, and all new episodes and sometimes random blogs and musings will go up on there. Our official Twitter is @sleepytimetales. Our Instagram is @sleepytimetales. Our Facebook is not. The Facebook site is facebook.com/sleepytimetalespod. The original Sleepy Time Tales is a rather charming but slightly creepy thing that may keep you up at night, but check it out, it's quite fun. We are also on YouTube, where you will find visualizer enhanced versions of all shows and maybe some other random nonsense. Search for Sleepy Time Tales. Our theme song is Un Désert by Kumiko from the Free Music Archive, released under a Creative Commons 1.0 Universal license. Check out their work there. There is some very interesting stuff, and it's all very relaxing and fun to listen to. Thank you, and we will see you next time.